Alright, there we go. So welcome everyone to our live stream. We're gonna go ahead and get started with covering SPY. I'm just gonna clear this up a little bit for you guys. Let's see. Alright. So this is our daily chart. Today or yesterday we hit 470, and right now we're just consolidating around that 470 area. After our final price target that we're mainly shooting for was 460, went up to 465 and then 470. Since we're making all-time highs, I would just use $5 increments as your support and price targets for SPY. So here, since we're consolidating around 470, in the bullish scenario, we're looking for SPY to close above 470 on the daily and then hold that as support, and then we'd be looking for a push up to 475. And then if we end up falling back down and actually starting that retracement and fall below 465, then we're looking for retracement over the next week or two right around the 455 area from previous highs. And then one other thing I did want to mention as well on why I think we're gonna have a pullback here soon. So this is the VIX, and this is also the daily chart here on the VIX, but basically there was a gap up from here to up there, which we ended up filling last week. Now we're starting to bounce, and whenever the VIX goes up, the market goes down. It's the volatility index, and then vice versa. Whenever the VIX goes down, the market goes up. So since we're hitting a previous support after filling that gap, starting to push up above, we can definitely see a large move up here on the VIX. If we push across this trend line, then we're looking at, the $22 area, maybe 24, maybe 25, depending on how that goes. So that's another indicator that you can use, and also just to keep in mind regarding a potential downturn with the overall market. But from there, I want to cover a few stocks. The first one we're going to be covering is 3M, ticker is MMM, and right now we are looking at this here on the daily. Bounced 3 times so far on that trend line, which has been a support, and we're trying to approach this breakout level, which we rejected yesterday, and then just consolidated again today. But here what I'm looking at is I'm bullish overall if this can hold above 180 on the daily and hold that, that bullish trend line here. But due to a lot of consolidation here on MMM, I would wait for a close above a breakout here on the daily, and the breakout level is $183.82. And then if it can do that and then hold that breakout as a new support level, then we look good for a push up to 186.5. And then if it pushes above that, holds that as support, then we be looking at a rally up to our second target, which is at 190. And then our next one is UNP. So here I am looking for UNP to continue holding our bullish support of 237.3. Right now it's creating a bit of a flag here, so I would wait for at least a break above that trend line here, which is part of the flag. Do the other portion, and then you could get in then, or I would just wait for the breakout, but wait for that confirmation of a breakout with this flag. And then once it starts pushing up and above the breakout level of 243.91, then our target for UMP is $252. And then our next one is going to be MU. So this one's actually a play that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I believe. And right here, we ended up dropping below our bullish support, and we didn't close above our breakouts. We never ended up playing this, but now it ended up bouncing at the lower part of this channel, which is an overall bearish channel it's been in for quite some time. But now it's above our bullish support. So now this looks potentially good for a trade this week. Ultimately depends on how the market ends up going. If the market ends up selling off, I'll probably take MU with it, so keep that in mind. But what I'm looking for here is a close above the breakout of 75.63, and then also close above this top portion of the bearish channel. And volume here is picking up. It looks like, yeah, today was above average volume, so that looks really good for the bulls. But just wait for confirmation of a close above those two levels on the daily. And then from there, we're looking at $77.50 for our first target. And then our second target is at $79.50. All right, so the next one is CVX. So here with Chevron, this was our all-time high. We made new all-time highs, and it's been consolidating right around that previous high of $113. I'm bullish overall here on Chevron if it can hold above $112 on the daily. Right now, it's approaching the breakout level, but it couldn't close above that level today, and that level's at $115.29. Once it can close above that, I would enter a swing up to, the 117.75 area. I definitely would recommend not trying to get in early, just because there's been a lot of consolidation, so you don't want to get caught in that chop zone here. And as well, if the market does pull back, then that will make there be more of a reason for Chevron to consolidate or just reverse. And then for our next one, we have Crowd. So Crowd, it's in a bullish channel here. It bounced at the lower portion of it, rallied, retraced, and now it's back above our strong support level, which is at $273. And right now it's approaching our light support. Once it closes above and pushes above this light support of 284, we'll see the TTM trend, which is the indicator that turns the candles from red to green, depending on the trend, from red to green here once it crosses over. So that looks good for a push up towards our breakout. And then after it breaks out of 297.40, the target I'm looking at here for Crowd is $314. And then our next stock we're going to be looking at is AMC. I did mention AMC a couple weeks ago, or potentially just last week, but I wanted to bring it back up to your guys' attention. When I called it out or broke it down, we're consolidating this descending triangle, and it looks good here on the daily, but also the long term. So this looks good for potential long-term swing. Sometimes our group chat will do yearly for options, a year out. So for that scenario, this looks good. And also for a shorter term swing, this is looking good as well. Today we closed above our breakout level and right above our downtrending portion of the top of that descending triangle. We didn't end up taking a play on it just because it ended up reporting earnings, and earnings could really go any way. So what I'm looking for tomorrow is a close above that trend line and for it to hold above $44.44. As far as the price movement after hours from earnings, it ended up selling off, and it's seeing a little bit of consolidation support at $43. So if it can break back above that breakout level and that trend line I mentioned, then this looks good for a swing short term and long term. So definitely keep an eye on that for tomorrow. And then we have our last one, which is American Airlines. This was another one that I mentioned previously in our weekly live session. Basically, it ended up breaking below our our bullish support level of $21, and it did recover after it reported earnings, and now I'm looking for an entry soon here on American Airlines. It closed above our breakout level of $22.19. I want it to continue holding that level. So as long as it doesn't close below 22.19 on the daily, then this looks good for push up to 23.15. So definitely keep an eye on this tomorrow and over the next few days. But that's going to wrap it up for this week. For anyone that is, viewing this video and doesn't know about our weekly live sessions, we go live every week right around 6:15, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to, subscribe and press the post bell notifications, and you'll get alerted whenever we go live. All right, take care.